Hi everyone, my name is Wade. I'm going to give you guys a mini review of my 2018 Rad City. I'm just under 6'1". I weigh about 230 pounds. I'll go into detail why that's relevant later. But I bought this bike about 3 years ago. It's 2018. I bought both of these at the same time. So I have a Rad Rover and a Rad City. When I received these bikes, I had a little bit of shipping damage. The boxes were kind of torn up. It might be hard to tell, but underneath the steering stem, this was all ground down. There was 3 issues. I don't remember all 3. I remember both batteries when I got them. The clips on the underside that lock into here, they were damaged. I like had 2 or 3 broken on each battery. Like the batteries came loose during shipping and or something were slapping, but the plastic clips broke off. And I contacted Rad City after I got the bikes, and I can't tell you how great their support network is. They took care of all the issues. They even sent me a new this bracket, I think they sent me a new steering, or yeah, they sent me a new bracket here, and I never put it on. I just kept it, but they were awesome, outstanding. I was really happy with the support they gave me. Any issues I had popping up, they were able to help me through it. I had an issue where my speedometers weren't matching speeds, and I think the tire size was wrong in one of the bikes. They helped me sort through that. But I just want to go over a few things about the bike. It's over the 3 years I've owned it, I've only had a few minor issues. You know, and I think these are typical with any bike. My gears, they wouldn't shift. This bike wouldn't shift into the high gear. Needed some tuning. I got it back. It's not totally perfect, but it's smooth. It works good now. Rad has a really good video on their website that takes you through all the information that you need to know how to and understand how to shift all that stuff. Or how to adjust it all. And the other things that had issues, my cranks, they loosened up on me. So every time I'd pedal, they got loose, and they would make a noise when I'd go to pedal. I adjusted that. I torqued those down as tight as I could get it, and I haven't had an issue since. And I think that's about it. Those are pretty much the only issues I've had. Which is not much, to say the least. The crank's loosening up, that could be a bigger issue, but since I tightened them, I haven't had any issues. So that with my Rad City, my Rad Rover, I haven't had any issues at all. Been pretty happy with that. My kids usually ride that, or my wife. I bought that for them. I mainly ride this. I do a lot of just country road riding to get exercise. You know, there's not many towns near me, so can't do much filtering in a city. And as you see, like we're way out in the country here. You know, there's cornfields over there. There's cornfields behind those trees. I live south of Chicago, and I bought this bike originally just to go for bike rides with my kids. I really like bike rides. Gets me some exercise. I'm about 50 years old. I recently had 2 injuries in the past 2 years that had me gain some weight, so I'm trying to work that off now. I was mountain biking in Colorado, and a rented bike, and the front tire washed out on me, slapped my hand down. I broke my scaphoid, and displaced it, and I had to have surgery, and I was out of commission for a long time. And then, you know, when I did that injury, I put on like 10 pounds, and then when I had my neighbor's dog jumped into my knee, bent it backwards, tore my meniscus. And when I had that injury, I had to have surgery again, and then I was out the following year for a long time, and gained a little more weight. So now I'm trying to work that off. My knee's not perfect, but it's getting there. I have 2 bad knees, so I can't run. I can't walk for super long distance. I tore my ACL in my other knee years ago, and so I'm doing okay now. And I use these bikes every day. now and starting to cut weight again. And I'm gonna take you guys on a ride, and I'll explain why this bike is so good, and I'll see you in a bit. Alright guys, here we go. Take for a little ride on the Rad City. So Rad Bikes, if you're listening, the one thing I hate most about this bike is when I have it in 7th gear, the gear ratio is horrible. I could be pedaling at 20 miles an hour, my feet they feel like a rabbit. My legs are moving so fast. You know, cruising speed on this is probably 7th gear, 12 to 15 miles per hour. But even at 15 miles per hour, you start pedaling pretty fast. The one thing I'd like to see is a different gear ratio so I could cruise at 20 miles per hour and not feel like I'm trying to run a marathon. You know, it being a battery bike, it would be really nice if the gearing, you know, was closer to its top speed. Like, I know this bike's supposed to be max 20 miles an hour, but you know, 7th gear, you know, maybe a a little more aggressive than a casual rotation for that speed would be awesome. My dislikes are that the seat's a little hard. I could go maybe 7 miles, 12-mile ride, my seat's hurting. 7 miles, I do pretty easy. I get off, I'm a little sore. I know all bike seats are different. The seats, it's not bad, but it just needs a little more cushion, a little more padding. Let's see, the positives that I really like about this bike. I really love how smooth it is. It's a really smooth bike. Half the time when I go for rides, I don't feel like I'm even trying that hard. I know it's an electric bike, but I could have it on pedal assist 1, even 0 at sometimes. But pedal assist 1, like I feel like, you know, I could ride all day at that for the most part. You know, I am getting 50 now, so what I usually do when I go for a ride is I start off pedal assist 0. I ride till I'm a little bit tired. Then I put on pedal assist 1, and then I just crank it up pedal assist 2. I rarely ever go above pedal assist 2. My battery lasts forever. I could get 40 to 60 miles probably the way I ride. Once again, I'm doing it for exercise. I'm not really doing it for, you know, fun joyride. We're not in any cities. I don't need to filter. I'm out in the country, and for the most part I use this as an exercise tool. So by the end of the ride I want to be exhausted. I want to be real tired, and that's why I start out on 0, move up to 1, move up to 2. Sometimes I'll go for a longer ride further from home, and I'll be at my destination and I realize, man, I'm really tired, and on the way home I'll just throttle all the way home. It's really nice. And I would say throttle only, my battery, it might get about 20 miles range, I would say. It does pretty good. Other than that, you know, recently I've been looking at a newer bike because I'm like, yeah, I've had this for 3 years, maybe I want to upgrade. I was looking at the cafe racer style bikes, the Super 73s, the aerial riders, the Luna cafe style one they make, and even the juice bikes. And they're all so expensive. It's awesome that they go like 35 miles an hour. That is really, really cool. If I lived in a city and I was a little younger and I hung out with my buddies, I would love to have one of them. But for me, I ride mostly alone, where speed's not too big of an issue. If I want, I can get up to 20. But for the most part, I cruise like 10 to 15 miles per hour. I would love to have one of those bikes, but the seating position on them, and you know, I think they're much harder to ride when your battery goes dead. Where this one, I could actually ride at home if my battery went dead. It'd be hard, especially going up hills because of the weight. but you know, I can handle it. It's not a big deal. So oh, one of the things I want to show you, I'm gonna turn around here. So I took off the 20-mile-an-hour limit on this. In the controller you can bump it up to 40 kilometers per hour, which I think is 25. But what I've noticed is when I get to 20 on throttle only, it starts cutting power. It doesn't cut it all the way, but I'll see if I can show you. Turn the throttle on. I'm gonna go up. So you see it's at 700 something right now. We're at 21, and the power slowly starts to go down. Wait, let me get up here, I'll help it. So it never really cruises at 25. It could be because of my weight. See, it's cutting down to 500 watts at 22.7. If I go faster, it's down to 300, 200. It doesn't stay at 700 watts till 25. So even though I raised that, I can't really do that fast. It's weird because on my Rad Rover, I can definitely cruise 25 on throttle only, and I didn't notice if it was cutting power down on that. But that one has a different style motor. It's got a little more torque. It's a little faster than this one, accelerating. This one has the regen braking. You'll see when I hit the brakes here, I'll speed up a little. See my watts jump up. That's charging the battery. But I kind of wish the regen braking engaged before the regular brakes, because you know, I'm just slowing down hitting regular brakes. The regen kicked in earlier, maybe that would be all the braking I would need. But yeah, so this is the Rad City. I really like it. I mean, I'm really a big fan. I don't have any plans on selling it anytime soon. If you're an old guy like me, I highly recommend it. Just to get exercise. It's fun to ride around. It gets the job done. It's much easier riding this than a manual bike, because when you get tired, you just give yourself a little help, and it makes it more fun. You don't feel totally wiped when you get home. But I think I've covered everything. So I hope this video helps you make your decision. You know, and have a good one. If you like this, subscribe, and I'll try and create more content. So I'll catch you later. Thank you.